Good afternoon, peace and blessings. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless, and I'm back with another video. Hope everybody is enjoying their Tuesday. But yeah, man, before we get to the subject, I just released my album, Crux HQ Music underscore. Crux HQ underscore music. HQ is for high quality, and the name of the album is Press Soul, and it's doing tremendous. Everybody's loving it. Nothing but great reviews. I released it on Friday the 24th, all major stream platforms. I'll leave the link in the comment section of this video, but it's a feel good album. You know what I'm saying? It's really good. I'm on a campaign, 5 album campaign, and this is the 4th installment. And I'm really proud of this project because it's really positive. You know what I'm saying? And it has some deep messages in it. Man, I definitely want to shout out, you know what I'm saying, JoJo the Ryan. He been real, supportive, man. Shot Town Finest, Darlene April, uh, Just Jazz, a few people on my YouTube fam that shared the album, and I appreciate everybody else that been tapping in. I don't want to name everybody, but them specifically have been, you know what I'm saying, showing a lot of love with the album. And yeah, like I said, it's on all the major streaming sites. I'll leave a link to YouTube in the comment section. But I worked hard on it, and like I say, this is 4 out of 5. I got one more album on this Pressure campaign, and this is Press Soul. So I got one more album to go. I'm gonna try to drop that by next year. You know what I'm saying? And that one, it ain't gonna be about no vibe. I'm just gonna be rapping on that joint. You feel me? So stay tuned for the next project, but make sure that you definitely, man, I'm gonna have some more videos for this. This is probably the best so far. That's what people are saying. This is out of and my other albums. I got Pressure Volume 1, Book 1, that came out maybe about 2018, 2019. That was with my cousin. I got No Pressure. Oh, but no, Pressure 2.0. That was my first solo album. So then No Pressure came after that, which, was my last album that came out maybe 2023. And then now we have Press Soul. So, man, these albums, man, it take a lot to put into. I'm on a campaign. I'm telling you, man. So I have 5 in total for this particular campaign, and this last installment, Press Soul, is amazing. If I say so myself, took long enough, but anyway, had to self plug, had to self plug, had to self plug. Let's get to it though. Nolan Wells. I'm completely convinced that Nolan Wells' friends are completely innocent. Um, you know, Officer Tatum, shout out to Officer Tatum, had took it upon himself to go down there to Mississippi and interview the friends. And 2 of them went on, showed their face and did the full interview. Yeah, probably about 5 parts. So after reviewing all of that, I knew from day one when this first happened, I said, the friends need to know something. If they didn't have nothing to do with it, they have some knowledge of what happened. But now that the details have come out, and I didn't want to touch on it. I think that they don't know anything about what happened. Um, so I have changed my position on that. But now I've been very careful not to be critical of these parents. But just with the hiring Ben Crump and you got Al Sharpton and all of these race baiters in the mix, and now that the some of the friends have spoken out, You got the one of the white friends, Warren, and then he just had a black friend, Tristan, come out and speak. And you remember the mother was saying that none of the kids or none of the parents uh reached out to her with any information. Well, that was proven to be a lie. Now, why she would lie about that, I don't know. But the kid, Tristan and Warren, provided proof on their cell phone that not only did they reach out, but their parents reached out like, we need to talk. So after that came out, I believe the mother went on another interview and cleared it up. Well, yeah, they did kind of reach out. But see, this is my whole thing. If Officer Tatum could go out his way to fly down to Mississippi to get answers from these boys, why is Ben Crump, why are the parents not meeting with these boys as well? Why are they avoiding them? Now, you lied and said that none of them reached out to you. That has been exposed. See, we had this narrative that as soon as this happened, these boys just turned off their social media and just tried to hide. They ain't been hiding. They've been trying to get in contact, and they had the proof to show it. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to accuse them of. I'm not trying to accuse the parents of anything, but we got to be transparent here and call a spade a spade. Why would she lie about that? Then once the truth comes out, now you got to double back, and that it's looking kind of nefarious. You know what I'm saying? But in any event, uh, the boys' interviews, people want to pick apart different details. The main thing that stuck out for me was the girl Katie. This is the thing that we still need relative answers to. When they said that the bulge pump was going out in the boat and it was sinking and they had to leave. And they said Nolan was with the girl and he was, hugging on her in the water. And they said, Nolan, get on the boat, bro. We getting ready to leave. Get the F on the boat. And the girl said that's the last time she saw him. But she didn't say that she saw him get on the boat. She just remembers, from what I'm hearing, the girl Katie just, I guess he probably just, that's when they split up. But she said that's the last time she saw Nolan. But she didn't specify if she saw him get on the boat. And the boys are saying that Nolan said, nah, I'm going to stay back. Now, we understand that this happens often. They tried to make this like some type of unusual situation where you just come with somebody to this Horn Island and you're automatically going to leave with them. We know that that's been debunked by the boys. It's like, man, we'll come together and leave all the time with somebody else. So it's not uncommon that happens. Now, as far as the phone, now that's another issue that I have with the parents, because they were saying they had to use some type of app to locate the phone and they didn't want to give it back. And so come to find out, the boys got proof that they reached out to the mother to give her the phone. And they left it on the boat. They weren't tripping on the phone because they in the water. We established that. That'd be stupid to be in the water with your phone. So that's why I was left on the boat. Now, what we didn't know is it was about 30 of these kids in 3 different boats that went out there. Now, everybody left their phone on the boat, right? Now, we like, with teenagers and phones, like, they got it. You would think that, but apparently these kids, everybody had their phone in this boy truck because he took it off the boat, and then everybody came to retrieve their phone later on once they got back to the mainland in Mississippi. So once they left the island, everybody knew their phone was over here, so people coming to get their phone. So obviously this whole phone thing is not uncommon with them when they go to this island. and we know they've been to this island multiple times. So this is not uncommon for them to have their phone and hold it for Nolan when he gets back home. Okay, so we established that. So it's nothing weird with the phone. That's normal for them. Nothing weird with the keys. They left the keys at his friend's house. That makes sense because you don't need your keys. You ain't gonna be driving nowhere. So when we come back, I get my keys. Now we understand that Nolan, the boy, said when they told him to get on the boat, Nolan said, "I'ma stay." So at that point, it was like, did he get on the boat? Did something happen to him on the boat? Or did he stay? Now, why I say I believe these boys are in the clear, because understand, the investigation is still unfolding. The police are still investigating. They haven't came out with all of their information. So the police, TMZ confirmed that the police have two witnesses that said they seen when all of Nolan's friends left. All three boats left around 4:30, and Nolan decided to stay. They got two people that spoke to the police that confirmed this. And remember, one of the boys said that they left around 4:30 because they was having trouble with the boat. But they also said that someone had sighted Nolan around 6 or 7 p.m. on the island. So he was alive and well around 6 or 7 p.m. So that's why I say I think all of these boys, all his friends, all his homies are in the clear because they left. And you got people confirming, like, yeah, they left at 4:30. All three of the boats, one of the boats was actually sinking and had to get towed. They confirmed that. Now you got this recording going around that's artificial intelligence, that's AI, that's making it seem like they having a conversation when they call, like, is he dead? Oh, what did you do? Did you unalive him? All of that is nonsense. And Officer Tatum broke that down. So you got to be careful when you get your information. But TMZ has confirmed that the boys, all his friends, left at 4:30. Nolan stayed. Now, what happened with the girl? I'm hoping that this girl is the next interview, or she issues an official statement or something about how did you go from him cradling you in his arms to his friends saying get on the effing boat and you just disappeared. Like, what happened? Like, y'all didn't kick it no more? If he stuck around, it's mainly, I would think it would be, he stuck around mainly for the young lady. But, mind you, we know that it wasn't just no remote island with just Nolan and his three friends. There were hundreds of people out there on the 4th of July. Several of other boats and friend groups, and there were maybe even 1,000 people they said was there. Hundreds of boats. So he probably knew all kind of people there. And like, man, I just catch a ride with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at with it. And if all his friends and they confirming left, they couldn't possibly be responsible for what happened afterwards. Now, the thing that nobody is talking about in this situation is the fact that being on these boats and drinking underage is very dangerous. You could bound water. We talking about the sea. At that, this ain't like a little bitty lake or pond. Y'all in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America, whichever you want to call it. Y'all in the sea. And this water is shallow. It could go anywhere from waist to 20 feet deep. If you get caught up in the current, people have been unalived and drowned, just sober people. So imagine you have this young man, they say been been drinking since the morning in the water, no telling what's going on. Now, am I saying foul play couldn't have been happened? No. It definitely could be some foul play in this situation, but I think we are looking at the wrong people, if that's the case. It's either foul play by somebody else that was on that island, or he just drowned and nobody saw it. And that's quite possible when you're dealing with that type of water and those many people that over there partying, having a good time, people getting drunk. Now, my thing is, I hope we get to the bottom of this to find out exactly what happened. Because everybody that drowned, it don't always be loud. Like sometimes you just get, people every year you had this. This opens up a broader discussion. Because when I hear these boys talking, who, like, how y'all getting access to all this alcohol on the boat? And then from how they're explaining what was going on with the bulls popping, it doesn't seem that they were following safety guidelines. Like, they just do this so much that it's just, all right, man, we just we going to Horn Island, yeah, fired up, get the boat going, we on the boat. But they not really following. Nobody got a life preserver on. There's no life jackets. It's alcohol. Everybody under the age of 21. Been drinking since the beginning. Listen, if you've been drinking since the morning and it's 6, 7 o'clock at night, you toe up by then. Nolan was getting fried. Rest in peace to him. But we have to have a real conversation about these type of situations when you out here, on a boat on a remote island in the middle of the sea, in the water, and your mind is, occupied with other things. And the parents reached out, or the parents of one of the friends, I think Warren's parents, stepmother, reached out to Nolan's mother, said, "Man, we need to talk." And I think that Nolan's mother didn't want to have that conversation because she know what happened with her son. She know her son was under the influence heavily. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably what that talk was going to be about. Like, these kids, man, they need to stop drinking so much. They already only 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? And they getting towed up like this. And I'm thinking, it's kind of like common sense what happened to him. And I don't think his friends just listening to them talk. What's sad is, like, the Tristan boy, he like, man, see, social media, man, they want this to be racism so bad when these kids are literally not even tripping on that, bro. They are living the dream. I said this in another video that Martin Luther King had down in Mississippi, Ocean Springs, Mississippi, with black boys and white boys and girls and boys and all of them could play. They being not judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. This new generation does not see racism, but these old ass adults are forcing this down these kids' throats. Now, when Nolan had his funeral, these boys been getting death threats, so they didn't go. I don't blame them. You got people talk about they gonna, unalive you, and you gonna, first of all, you don't want to draw that. It's high profile now. You go to the funeral, and now all the attention is on you because social media has made you a suspect in your own friend's death. That is sickening, man. See, that's the part of social media I hate. Every idiot can have a voice, and then you formulate these narratives, and these boys they sad, they grieving just like the family is. My heart goes out to the mother and the father and the family and the siblings. My heart goes out to these kids that no longer have their friend. It's a very tragic situation. And for social media to make this about racism when race, no, not a shred of evidence is that true. You got the black friend came out. He said, man, just because I came out and told the truth, they talking about I'm not black enough. And, you know, I'm a coon and all this just for telling his side of the story because it didn't align with this racial narrative that obviously didn't play a part. These boys been friends since grammar school, most of them. They in college. They ain't tripping on race. It's a ethnic, multiracial group of friends. It was 30 of them that went and off that. They showed the footage of 30 young adults getting on 3 different boats. Different races, different colors, different creeds. Some was Latino, some was majority was white, and some were black. And they're like, man, you know, the black boy sitting up there because I think he mixed with black. He like, man, these people telling me I'm a sellout and all this because I'm telling the truth about what I saw. I'm telling the truth that our friends are not racist. We don't see race. But all these old people run around here forcing that on these kids, man. It's sad. And this ain't got nothing to do with that, man. This was an unfortunate tragedy. And now that, and I got to say, man, now that the truth is coming out, now that we have witnesses that were there confirming that all the kids left and Nolan decided to stay. I mean, he a grown man. You know, he's young. They young, but he's 18 years old. If he say, man, I'm staying, they can't make him go nowhere, right? So now everybody trying to talk about, oh, he say he his best friend and he his. Listen, I probably got 5 different people will say I'm their best friend. When people, you know, when my friends got married, the people that I know, all of them wanted me to be the best man. So Nolan probably one of them type of people where he made everybody feel like they were his best friend. So people looking into that too much, it's insane. So the boy Warren saying he was Nolan's best friend. Tristan say he was his best friend. He probably got 10 other friends that feel that's my best friend, my best friend, my best. And then they tripping on, oh, how he your best friend and you never went to his house before. Then they asked the boy, like, the mama sat up there, another lie, said she didn't know the boys or something to that effect. When the boy, especially the Tristan, the black boy said, man, I done went on vacation with Nolan. I done left my cars at her house, you know, several times. She like, man, I got pictures of me chilling in her living room with Nolan. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know me? So it's kind of like, what is these lies about? You know, I'm just saying, I know it's a lot going on and your mind all over the place when something like this happened. But this is getting ridiculous with these lies coming out. It's almost like this some type of money grab. And they already to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to make this about racism. And see, they mad at the black boy coming out because it doesn't fit their narrative. That's what they mad at him for. That's why they calling him coons. Like, no, we want this to be racism. Y'all got the end. Listen, what's that man named Crump? Benjamin Crump. Running all over. He done went to Washington, D.C. He done went to Chicago with the NAACP. He done went everywhere but to go holler at these boys for himself. He went everywhere but to holler at them boys for why? Why are you running away from them? Why is Officer Tatum going down there to talk and you want answers? You don't want answers. You are a civil rights attorney. not a criminal attorney. First of all you do is try to get to the money, man. Let's be for real. But it ain't no grift. The grift is falling apart. Right? But see, these are type of situations that further divide this country. July 4th, I said it in the other video. You know how many shootings and unalivings happened in Chicago alone? Why is this case getting so much cover? I tell you why. Because they black, white. That's it. I don't think this is my opinion. Now, it could be some foul play. I don't think it was foul play. I think that boy was towed up and somehow got caught up in the current out there in the ocean and just drowned. It was a freak accident, man. That's what I think. I don't think nobody did nothing to Nolan. Rest in peace to that young man. My heart goes out to the family. My condolences. But I don't think nobody did nothing to him. I think that if somebody did do something to him, it wasn't them kids y'all looking at the wrong people. And the way they describing Nolan, I think he would be very, very, very disappointed in how his family is handling this. Very disappointed in his friends being demonized by social media. You can't blame them for going to lower you up. They need protection. People threatening their life now. And for what? Because somebody said they did something to their friend with no evidence. And then you wonder why the police didn't charge them with nothing. They already spoke to the police. The police already got the timestamps of when they left. They confirming everything. They ain't going to tell us everything because it's an ongoing investigation. Okay? But yeah, man. Go get the album. I'm going to leave it in the comment section, man. We going to stay updated with this case. Hopefully, Katie can come out. I hope she can add some more clarity to this situation, man, because this is crazy, bro. I ain't want to make this too long. But yeah, man, it's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. We love y'all. Until next time, we should see you soon. Peace and blessings.